Hi, and welcome to another episode of Can't Stop the Growth. I'm your host, Chad Peterman, and today we are going to be talking about the concept of explaining why you do what you do. That may sound a little bit weird, but we take that concept to heart here at Peterman Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. When it comes to managing people, managing expectations, it is always important to explain the why behind why a policy is in place, why we're recommending something to a customer, why we have to do things a certain way, because ultimately everybody is trying to understand how their role fits into the big picture. So what I have for you today is a little bit of audio from a Future Leader Series meeting that we had here at Peterman a couple of months back, where I talk exclusively about why we do what we do in our business and how we relate this to both our customer and our people internally. Personal meaning is the way we connect to a wider team purpose. If our values and beliefs are aligned with the values and beliefs of the organization, then we will work harder towards its success. If not, our individual motivation and purpose will suffer, and so will the organization. To me, this has been a journey for me in leadership from when I first started to where I am now. And it's funny to kind of think back on it and kind of put markers in the journey. Obviously, I have been in quote unquote leadership since a very young age. I think I was captain of my soccer team when I was like in fourth grade. Now, obviously, fourth grade. Okay, cool. I think captain meant you went out for the coin toss or something like that. That was about it. You know, it was like, okay, cool. I get to go out for the coin toss. Awesome. And every once in a while, the coach would ask you to do something, or hey, go do something like this, and that was kind of cool. And then you grow up, and you take some leadership roles wherever that may be, and you're just kind of growing into it. But even when I came here first, I don't know that I really wasn't in a leadership role. I was kind of in an assumed leadership role, but nothing really like substantial. We didn't have enough really people. We had one leader, that was my dad, and he led and everybody followed. And so as we've grown and my role has kind of grown and transformed and different stuff like that, the hardest part for me was then kind of looking back on what I know is leadership and then trying to implement that into the business. Well, when you start to think back on it, if you've been in positions of leadership where you may not really have been, when you think back on it, it's like, I don't even know what I really did, or like, oh shoot, like I'm supposed to be leading these people. Is there like a handbook, or is there something that I'm supposed to be doing every day? And oftentimes we come up empty. Like, I don't know what that is, or what I'm supposed to be doing, or I guess I'll just do it this way, whatever it may be. When I finally locked into why we were doing something, is when it all started to click. Because when you can get past the fact that a business is supposed to make money and have margins and make a profit and all of this business stuff, when you can get past that and get to the level of why in the heck do we do this, and how do we grow people? How do we spread whatever it is that we spread, information, service, knowledge, whatever it is, how do we spread that to as many people as we possibly can and affect as many lives as we can? There again, it all goes back to, you're going to have trouble stopping this place. And that's not because, well, we've got a really good margin, so we're going to keep on growing. Well, that's wonderful, but to me, that's not the most important thing. And as a leader, it's a whole heck of a lot easier for people to follow a why we do something than it is a what we do and this is what we need. And so for me, that's been transformational as a leader, is really getting into that, because then you start doing things differently. You start doing things that people can connect to. It's not all about, well, we're only doing this because, we need to, make a better margin. Well, yeah, we're always trying to improve those things, but at the end of the day, our why for improving our margin is so that we can offer more benefits, so that we can have the best health insurance plan, so that we can do all that, because starting with the end in mind of why we actually do something has driven this place to, it'll continue to drive this place to places that, I dream about right now, and we'll get there. But to me, allowing that why to be the driving force really drives my whole leadership style. This is how I lead. It's, you got ideas, bring them in, let's try them out. We'll figure out something. It may be the right thing to do, it may be the wrong thing to do, but we'll figure it out together. And that's been truly powerful. And much like Jose said, leading that way and trying to drive at a collective why has left me in such a great place personally. There's very little stress. There's, I love this, and I love it because we're aiming for something bigger than just trying to make money. I mean, that's fun, but that gets old, like, quick. It's like, let's do something more. Let's try to revolutionize an industry. That sounds like a better goal. How can we provide better service than anybody's ever imagined in their entire life? Things like that, to me, get me going. And I think things like that are what you as a leader, if you can put those things in place for whoever it is that you're leading, that's when you can see some magical things happen. We're seeing it right now. Here it is. I'm telling you, this is the way we're leading, and look at everybody go. There again, I'm not doing that. We're just connecting on the same level of what we want to do. And I think it's one of those things where we've gotten better as an organization because we've expressed it. So it's not that not that from the very beginning we didn't have a bigger why. It's just we never let anybody know about it. It was just, we're in business, come to work, clock in, clock out, see you later. But then once we start having things like this, once we start with awards, that's a big thing we never did for the longest time. Or we never did until a couple years ago, really this year, where we've had dedicated awards that we give out to people. While that seems small, well, we're recognizing those that are going above and beyond. Well, that encourages everybody else to go above and beyond and do great things with their life and do great things with their career. And so, to me, that is, I think, the biggest key in leadership is connecting to why people are doing things. In the a couple of paragraphs down, it talks about Daniel Pink in his book Drive. Humans by their nature seek purpose, a cause greater, more enduring than themselves. The most convincing arguments for his theory are the simplest to understand. We leave well-paying jobs for purpose-driven ones. We volunteer. We have children. This is something I work very hard for people to feel. I want you to feel this when you come to work here, that you are at a place that is driving towards something bigger. And this is, the main reason why I was telling some people this morning we're working on a orientation program that will take place next year, where anybody new to the company will go through what will hopefully be a day or two orientation to the company. Because I want people, like I said, I want them to feel this. When you can get people to feel why in the heck you're doing something, my God, you better watch out, because they could go places that you never thought were possible when you hired them. And ultimately, that's what's going to grow the company, is a bunch of people going after that. And so I'm very, very excited about this program that we're putting together and what it's going to breed. But there again, when it comes back to leadership, it's how do you make someone feel that? And what am I doing on a daily basis to ingrain the why we're doing this and the atmosphere in which we're doing it? How do we do that? Is extremely key. The last portion that I draw your attention to is really the last sentence. I think it's just one sentence. Two sentences. Being human always points and is directed to something or someone other than oneself. The more one forgets himself by giving himself to a cause to serve another person to love, the more human he is and the more he actualizes himself. This is very similar to what Jose was talking about with helping others and different things like that. I am a huge believer in that if you are a leader and you have skills, you need to share them with everybody you can. So if you're good at sales, you better sure as heck share that with somebody else. What's working for you? How's it going? Different stuff like that, because utilizing your talents to be only self-serving is a huge waste of time, here to tell you. Exactly. If you are not willing to share or wanting to share, you're going to be in a world of hurt, because there is nothing more fulfilling than sharing what's working for you and seeing somebody else take it and run with it. And more than likely, they're going to help you in some way or fashion. So this has been big for me too, as we continue to build and grow and develop as a company, is sharing information. I found myself, before we started this class, I found myself reading all the time. Well, that's great, but all that knowledge is in here of what I've picked up. Well, that does really the company no good if I don't share it and teach it and talk about it and give resources and do whatever it is. My job as a leader is a facilitator. I'm here to serve you and give you everything you need to be successful. In my mind, this is something that I'm good at. I'm good at reading something and kind of pulling out what it means and how it relates and different stuff like that. Well, I look at that as that's my job as a leader is to teach that, is to take a 2-page document and be able to pull out all the meaning and all the examples and different stuff like that we can, so that we can then teach others how to be successful, what to do, things they can improve on. And I think when you place yourself as a leader in that position, knowing that, okay, I've got a group here, even if I don't have a group, even if I'm part of that group that the manager is managing, how do I share all that I have to then lift up that group? Because ultimately, lifting up that group, if you think about it, lifting up that group means growth, means new roles emerge, means you grow. Because more than likely, if you're the one sharing and you're the one teaching, that next role or whatever it may be, that's going to be yours, because you've already shown a propensity to want to teach and want to share and want to help others. And, leadership often gets categorized as I'm the manager, I'm the dictator, this is how we're going to do it, you'll follow me and just listen to everything I say. I can't think that could be any further from the truth. The minute that you understand that sharing is actually going to help you a whole heck of a lot more, you'll be a powerful, powerful leader. There's no doubt in my mind, because at that point in time, when you're viewed as the person who is always helping, always serving, people will follow you from here to who knows where. It is just that type of relationship that you have with the people that are looking up to you, the people that want you to lead them into sometimes troubled waters, sometimes the unknown, sometimes a goal that's never been accomplished. When they know that you're there to support them and you're there to teach them, because as we talked about earlier, a lot of people are in a really not so great place. But if you can get yourself in that place and then lead others to that place, it becomes a powerful, powerful thing. Because at that point in time, you got everybody in the boat rowing in the same direction. And that is, in my mind, how you build leadership, not just be the manager. You know, that it doesn't, you can be a manager that, just, okay, well, you look after Johnny. But to me, you're never going to be fulfilled doing that until you really help somebody. Management is helping, not dictating or not just barking out orders. If I need someone to bark out orders, I'll just write the process down on a piece of paper. Just follow these, whereas a manager, a leader is there to help, to encourage, to build up, to make better, and to grow. Grow not only the organization that you're leading, the department that you're leading, but people. Grow people. If you can grow them, they will find their why, and you can help them find their why by showing them yours. That's your why, is I want to help you. I want to lift you up. I want to make you better. And that is truly, as that last line says, the more human he is and the more he actualizes himself. I'm telling you what, there's been no more time in my life that I have found what I am truly about than in the past probably 18 to 24 months. And it has just been unbelievable. It has been a fun ride and will continue to be because there again, it's all about serving others. It's all about lifting them up. It's all about getting them to a place that they literally never thought was possible. And the great thing is in this industry, we get a lot of people who come in here and have been beat down by a bad company, been beat down by a bad manager, and there again, we're going to rock their world. We're going to show them things that, like I said, they never thought possible. And when we can do that, I'm telling you, trust me on this one, we cannot be stopped. It's crazy. And it just to think that it's that simple. Just helping someone out will literally make your growth unstoppable. Simple formula. Help someone become unstoppable. You don't have to have the flashiest marketing. You don't have to have the, whatever it may be business-wise they say you need. You really just need to help people. You got an organization where everybody's helping everybody. Good luck stopping them.